what I'm hearing you name is uh, really learning from this process of the menopause journey of maybe being more self-led and open to some of the teachings that we might get as we process through that, opposed to what I imagine can come up a lot of the time is frustration, parts trying to manage the different changes and experiences, and then other activation in the system for folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because something that I was hearing over the years from women, they're like, I don't even know who I am. Like, I'll just all of a sudden freak out and I don't know who this person is. And something that, we're going to be looking at in the workshop is I mean, I think the IFS model is a phenomenal model for this journey because when you start looking at, I look at the consciousness of the hormones and how each of these hormones does have an effect, how they impose themselves onto our psyche, onto our consciousness. And then now these hormones that I think of them more as being like, directors and managers. And now all of a sudden, these managers and directors are taking holidays and they're starting to go into retirement. And so all of the different parts that they have been managing, throughout our adult life that like for example estrogen, right, really makes us focused and being productive. And so when that starts to go, all these parts that maybe perhaps didn't like being productive or having to be focused or being told what to do all the time, they all start coming up. So there's this huge influx of different parts, and that can be very, very chaotic for women's systems that are all starting to rise up to the surface. And so it can be very, very disorienting, and disorientating for women. So I'd offer a different way of looking at these hormones and how they impose themselves and what their jobs are. And then I also invite people to consider that there is actually a map that we can use to try to understand whereabouts in the journey, that we are, what we can expect in the process, and what parts can be coming up at different times during the process. So I tend to see of it as there's a five-stage process, that we go through. And so I try to, name it and, some of the specific parts that tend to come up at that time. And also the different managers, sort of get into more detail on, how to identify some of the managers and that are now retiring.